To guarantee that right now in this moment in time,
it's the system. The system is broken, and we're a part of that system.
You know it's spiraled out of control when state leaders admit their offices have been part of the problem. And this is the result.
How do you tell little children that?
KTTC Weather Academy.
Do you have a question about the weather that you'd like answered? Send us an email with your questions to weather@kttc.com.
KTTC Weather Academy.
Brought to you by Louis Donato.
Tune in every Friday for In the Backyard. Watch the experts at Custom Retaining Walls and Landscaping give you tips and tricks on how to take care of your backyard this summer season, covering a wide variety of topics like gardening, ponds, landscaping, retaining walls, and more. You don't want to miss In the Backyard, airing Fridays during the KTTC Noon News, sponsored by Custom Retaining Walls and Landscaping.
KTTC weather brought to you by Bob's
County here. Notice that one cell in Wabasha really starting to strengthen here. A lot of lightning right there with that cell just to the north of Plainview and then to the west of Wabasha. Overall, this is all right along a frontal boundary, and that front will be the key focal point in the forecast for tomorrow too, as that front finally moves across the area later on tomorrow evening, and that will spark some of those showers and thunderstorms. As we look at some of our Louis Donato live cameras, currently we are dry, but we are definitely picking up some of those gray skies here, especially out on the weather patio. Temperature right now in Rochester at 86 degrees. Wind out of the southwest at 13 miles per hour. We have dew points in the upper 60s. As we look at temperatures here locally, where we see those drops at in temperatures, that's where it's raining at. So looking at Owatonna and Zumbrota with some possible showers there. 86 currently with that heat index value at 89 here in Rochester. We'll have some isolated thunderstorm chances until about 8 to 9 o'clock here tonight. And then dry conditions overnight here as we look ahead towards the 4th of July for tomorrow. We will see the chance for some isolated scattered showers and thunderstorms. Those are really during the evening hours, could potentially impact fireworks, and maybe some of those could be strong thunderstorms. We'll talk about that coming up in that full first alert forecast. For now, Tom, back to you.
All right, Nick, thank you. And as the hot, dry conditions continue, the Minnesota DNR is reporting nearly the entire state is now in a drought. Here's a look at the department's map. The yellow signifies abnormally dry conditions. The tan shows the areas where there is a moderate drought, and as you can see, the Rochester area is in that category as for now, and the orange represents severe drought. And one industry that's being impacted by this is the golf course. Our Darian Letty caught up with the maintenance crews at Pine Island Golf Course and brings us this report.
People all across southeast Minnesota are feeling the impacts of the drought.
It's bad. My yard is completely brown and it's not even growing anything.
It's bad. It's really bad.
Golf course crews are one group bearing the brunt of the drought. Fairways and greens looking a little less green than normal.
It's kind of a challenge, swapping out the programs the whole time, see what we can do to manage it better, getting it under control.
Without rain, they're turning to the irrigation system to water the grass.
They waters the entire course. Greens, starts with greens, then tee boxes, then fairways, then roughs, and then all the practice areas. Irrigation is going every single night.
But the system has its limits.
With the irrigation system, it only covers so many square feet. instead of rain soaking everything at once.
And water from the pipes doesn't have the same nutrients as rainfall, so crews are supplementing fertilizers.
We put down nitrogen, we put down iron. It's a mixture blend that we put down and then we just irrigate it.
On a normal summer, would you do the irrigation every night like you're doing now?
No. So we'll switch it up. We'll have greens on Mondays, fairways on Tuesdays. So we'll skip a day on greens and stuff, but at the moment we have to do everything every single day.
Now you can see the roughs and the fairways are pretty parched versus the greens are greener. And that's because these areas get priority.
That's where everybody putts on, where everybody looks at, comments at. That's also the most important part.
How is it impacting your game today?
I don't think there's anything that can help my game.
Something that could help nearly everyone, though?
Bunch of rain. 5-6 inches, I don't mind, just rain.
Darian Letty, KTTC News.
And by the way, just yesterday, the golf course used more than 160,000 gallons of water in the irrigation system. Well, Governor Tim Walz has announced that Minnesota is sending firefighters to Canada to battle the raging wildfires there. A crew of 17 wildland firefighters was sent to Manitoba after they requested aid through the Minnesota DNR. Mutual aid like this is made possible through the Great Lakes Forest Fire Compact, which is an international agreement allowing Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, Manitoba, and Ontario to share firefighting resources when necessary.
Hats off to the incredible work that these firefighters are involved with in their daily work activities. It's incredibly grueling work, especially when you are facing significant active wildfire.
And the DNR has to closely consider the circumstances of each given situation to make sure that aid is necessary and available. Well, if you've been down to Soldiers Field in the past week or so, you may have noticed some heavy machinery around the pool area. Demolition has begun on the decades-old aquatic center. The area is fenced off. Slides are coming down to get ready for more construction, and the new center will feature 3 new water slides, a lazy river, a splash pad, 50-meter swimming pool, and a renovated bathhouse. The plan is for the center to be completed and ready to go next summer. This is all part of the Soldiers Field master plan.
One thing that we know the community was really excited about when we were talking about possible aquatic features, a lazy river. So while it's sad to see the pool close this summer, very excited and looking forward to next summer.
And the renovation is part of a $22 million project, which includes creating an accessible playground at Roy Sutherland Park and new basketball courts as well. The city is asking people to steer clear of the construction site for now, especially with the 4th happening tomorrow. The largest single employer strike in decades could happen by the end of the month, could impact how quickly you get your mailed packages. Tens of thousands of unionized UPS workers are on the verge of striking as negotiations between the company and the International Brotherhood of Teamsters for better benefits and working conditions reach a critical point. Workers have demanded the company present their final offer by Friday. The Teamsters union voted to authorize a strike earlier in June. The union's demands involve worker conditions like air conditioning trucks in hotter areas, as well as worker compensation like wages, health care, and pensions. Well, last week, the company released a statement saying in part that give and take will be required from both sides of the picketing line. A strike could cause a serious disruption in package delivery, and the UPS Teamsters contract expires at the end of the month, and if things do not go well, workers could pick up their protest signs by August 1st. What better way to kick off the 4th of July than a barbecue, perhaps some live music? Today was the annual 4th of July celebration at 125 Live. Organizers set up for all the fun in the parking lot there. Both members and non-members of 125 Live were invited to the party. Folks enjoyed barbecue staples like hot dogs and chips. There was also live music from the local band, The Preserves. They played some patriotic tunes today.
It's just a time for us to gather and enjoy each other's company and listen to good music. Just a time to come together and celebrate this wonderful country we live in and those who fought for us so we do have this freedom today.
And about 150 people attended the big party today. Well, the city of Austin is celebrating Independence Day with its annual Freedom Festival. That festival started yesterday, will continue until tomorrow. A family-friendly activity event will last all day at the Bandshell Community Park. This is the Austin Enhancement Group's second year hosting the event, which features live performances of dancing, music, and magic.
This is just what good Americans do. They support their country, especially on 4th of July. They support the veterans. It's a wonderful thing that so many volunteers have come out today and donated their time. It's kind of hot, it's kind of muggy, but they're here working.
Food vendors and playgrounds will be open until 8 p.m. Alberta is also celebrating Independence Day week as food vendors open shop downtown. Mobile business owners are fully set up at the city's North Broadway parking lot to celebrate the 4th. They will be open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. until Independence Day. In addition to the vendors, there will be a 3rd of July parade at 6 p.m. in the city's Freeborn County Fairgrounds. Live music and a block party will follow later in the evening. And if you are looking for more 4th of July plans and activities, we've got you covered here at KTTC starting tonight. You can check out fireworks in Dover to get the celebration started. And tomorrow there are many events around southeast Minnesota to check out. You can attend a fireworks show at 10 o'clock in Owatonna at the Steele County Fairgrounds, or stay right here in Rochester at Soldiers Field. Our fireworks show starts at 10 o'clock here as well. And for a full list of fireworks shows in this region, you can go again to our website, kttc.com.
Here's your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen.
Well, hopefully the weather will cooperate coming up tomorrow evening for those chances for some fireworks, and we'll have the chance for some showers and thunderstorms too. We have some thunderstorm activity outside currently. We'll start things off as we look at some of those cumulonimbus clouds that are off to the east and to the west of Rochester currently. We're looking towards the east there. Temperature currently here in Rochester at 86 degrees. We have those dew points, upper 60s, wind out of the southwest at 13 miles per hour. Temperatures are still warm, upper 80s, some lower 90s here, but we are taking a dip with some of those temperatures where we have some of those showers and thunderstorms at, really bubbling up the atmosphere. Notice I was talking about at 4 and 5 o'clock here, those showers and thunderstorms that have tracked just into Dodge County really starting to fall apart. But we are seeing some developments in some other areas here, right near Plainview, and then just right near West Albany, west of Wabasha here, some thunderstorms, but that's really losing intensity at this point in time. Notice the lightning strikes. We kind of really clustered up the lightning and then drops off. That's an indication of losing some strength in some of those storms. We have a cell just making its way into Olmsted County, so we'll see if that holds together, maybe for some of us north of Highway 14. But I talked about right near West Albany. Notice we're really losing those lightning strikes here, so that cell kind of fizzling out here tonight, but we'll have some of these pop-up thunderstorms along this boundary. That boundary will be what we're looking at to maybe develop some of those stronger storms in terms of thunderstorm activity, maybe tomorrow evening right around or about dusk. So here's future track for the rest of the night. Some of those thunderstorms, they start to fizzle out by say 8 to 9 o'clock here tonight. A couple minor cells maybe south of I-90, but we're not looking at anything significant here tonight. Tomorrow, we could see the threat for maybe some stronger storms. Storms will stay scattered for most areas in darker green, and a couple of those could be on the stronger side of things, say probably after about 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So here's a look at future track. We're starting things off tomorrow morning, 7:30. We're dry and quiet. Maybe a couple little stray thunderstorms north of I-90, looking at maybe Goodhue, Wabasha counties by say 10 to 11, but those will be really stray like they are outside currently. Most of the afternoon, we are dry tomorrow, so if you're outside, hot and humid, again, high temperatures expected to be low 90s. Here comes that activity. I'd say a lot more widespread. West of I-35, that's been a common theme lately, right? West of I-35, storms are a little bit more widespread. They become more isolated to scattered as they move east of I-35, but I do see the threat for some showers, and then overnight, the chance for some thunderstorm activity into early Wednesday morning. As we look at rainfall amounts, maybe getting close to a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch in some spots, but notice really lacking the rainfall south of I-90. So I think we're looking at southeast Minnesota more than northern Iowa in terms of those rainfall amounts. Temperatures here tonight, 67 for that overnight low. We have the wind out of the south, about 5 to 10, a couple stray storms before sunset here tonight. Your forecast for tomorrow as we look at temperatures locally getting into the lower 90s for highs, 92 in Winona, 93 in La Crosse, 90 tomorrow in Rochester. And we'll see that threat for some showers and thunderstorms throughout the evening, mainly looking after 6 p.m. So some scattered thunderstorms potentially impacting fireworks coming up tomorrow. And then as we look on Wednesday, high temperatures just expected to be in the mid-70s. That trend continues Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. A couple stray showers possible early on Saturday. Julian.
Next in sports, the Wild made a solid trade to bring a veteran voice into the dressing room. We'll hear from the newest Wild member, Pat Maroon. Plus, back up the Brinks truck because Anthony Edwards is getting the bag. I'll have the details on the reported extension between Ant-Man and the Wolves after the break. Anthony Edwards extension here with the Timberwolves. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, the Timberwolves have signed Edwards to a 5-year designated rookie max extension. Woj reports the deal could become worth $260 million. In just 3 seasons, Edwards has turned into a true blue superstar. Last year, the 21-year-old averaged 24.6 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 4.4 assists. His stats have only gone up each year, earning his first All-Star appearance in 2022. In the playoffs, Ant was even better, averaging 31.6 points per game. Now makes 3 players on the Wolves with max deals. And in other news for the team, Wolves announced they've re-signed former Iowa Hawkeye Luka Garza to a 2-way deal. From the hardwood to the NHL. Well, team here for the Wild added forwards Pat Maroon and Max Chaikovich from the Lightning for a 2024 7th-round pick. Maroon's a true vet, 12-year career, 3-time Stanley Cup champ with the Blues and Lightning. The St. Louis native recorded 14 points, 5 goals, 9 assists in 80 games with Tampa Bay last season. When asked about being traded, Maroon said he's ready to move forward.
It's about Minnesota for me right now. I'm excited. I think we have a chance to win a Stanley Cup, and bring a Stanley Cup back to Minnesota would be unbelievable. They have the players, they have the team, so Tampa's done with, and I'm just going to start focusing on Minnesota.
I'll have more from Maroon and GM Bill Guerin tonight at 10. Let's go to MLB. As the Twins get set to kick off a 3-game series with the Royals. Minnesota's coming in off a series win over the Orioles. The Twins were able to end its 9-game road trip 4-5. Taking on KC, some good news here for momentum. In 7 games this season already, Minnesota's owned KC, going 6-1, outscoring the Royals 36-18. Joe Ryan gets the ball tonight. Look at a rebound from a 6-earned performance against Atlanta. First pitch is set for 7:10 on Bally Sports North. Lastly, to the Northwoods League in the final game here, the first half of the season for the Hawkers. Face off with the Eau Claire Express tonight at Mayo Field. Rochester has the chance to clinch a playoff berth in this one. Hawkers need to win the game, then have both Wilmer and Bismarck win in its games. If that situation happens, the Flock will clinch a playoff berth for the first time since 2011. That is Look at Sports. Tom, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Julian. And thanks for joining us tonight at 6. We'll be back at 10 o'clock. Have a great evening.
Mitchell. See plays, teaches, and tours the area to see what Southern Minnesota golf has to offer. Learn how to strike the ball like a pro and enjoy all the beautiful scenery as we showcase a different golf course every Thursday.
Learn with me as I gain lessons and hole breakdowns from Course Pros Thursdays at 10 p.m. on KTTC.
Par for the Course brought to you by Ted Smith Insurance, Thursdays at 10 on KTTC.
KTTC Weather Academy.
Do you have a question about the weather that you'd like answered? Send us an email with your questions to weather@kttc.com.
KTTC